Yeah. Yeah. So welcome. Welcome. So today we're going to talk about something that I consider very important. And what is that? Today we're going to talk about why are we not manifesting? And then what manifestation, what's love got to do with it? Got to do with it? What does love and the loving emotions have to do with manifesting? I don't know about you, but for the longest time, I wanted to manifest love, and I did, and I'm going to tell you how I did that, and also money, and I did. But it took me a long time, and for a long time, I was like, why? Why is it taking so long? Why am I not doing it the right way? And I have discovered something that I want to share with you. It may be a little bit controversial, perhaps. Perhaps it may shift you, move you, or make you think, and that's all good. If you are wondering why desiring and wanting your manifestations may not be enough, I want you to stick around, because today I want to share with you what I have discovered for myself, what is helping me manifest, and what I'm doing, and why I wrote a book about it that will be published very soon. So please stay tuned, because in just a couple of minutes, I want to share with you what I have discovered, what is helping me, what has helped me, and it will help you too. Okay, so we're having some glitches. That's all good. I want to go ahead and make sure that you introduce yourself in the chat right now. If this is your first time tuning in, hi, my name is Evie Diaz. I am the author of the F.A.B Rich Future Self Now Journal, which will be coming soon, printing. And I will let you know more details about that as soon as I hear from Hay House, as well as a strategic growth speaker here at Biz University. And for the longest time, I've been wanting to manifest more. Can you relate to that? I want to hear from you right there in the chat. Please let me know your name, of course, so I can say hello and give you a chat out. And also, please let me know, where are you tuning in from? Where in the world are you? As well, of course, as where are you on social media? I want to hear from you. Are you on Clubhouse? Because we actually decided to record this on Clubhouse. So make sure that you are watching on Clubhouse, because we are on Clubhouse, on Instagram, as well, of course, as on LinkedIn. I think we're in LinkedIn, different YouTube channels, and of course, Facebook. So let me know there in the chat. Let's see. Who do we have? I see some people there. Please let me know where you are. Tell me all about you. And also tell me, what has been your experience with manifesting? Have you felt frustrated like I did for a long time? So let's talk about this. Manifestation. What's love got to do with it? Yes, I'm still talking about something similar to what I talked about last week. And I told you it would be a series, because this has been really mind shattering for me. And it has totally changed the manifestation game and how I manifest. And I thought I'd share it with you. Not just, of course, through this particular show, also through the book that I mentioned that's coming very soon. And I'm waiting to hear back from Hay House to give you more details on that. And I'm very excited about that. So let's take a look at this whole new way of looking at manifestation, our intentions versus our desires, our wanting versus our loving and being in a different emotion and feeling instead of just the mindset. So we're going to take a look at that. So first of all, I want to hear from you in the chat, whether you're here live or whether you are listening to the replay. Can you please share with me what does the word manifestation mean to you? I want to hear from you. What does that mean, manifestation? Please tell me, what does manifestation mean to you? I love to hear what that means for you. Manifestation. And I want to share with you what it means for me and how I define manifestation. So, for me, manifesting is the practice of bringing my desires into reality through my feelings first, my actions, and my beliefs. Now, that's different, somewhat different than most people have taught us. And the reason why is because I am a person that is analytical or a thinking person. I am often in my mind, and my mind plays tricks on me. And I discover I can't believe everything my mind thinks. And because I discovered that, I decided to write about it and share it with you because I thought that would be useful information for you as well. And so here's what happened. I decided to begin writing in my journal all these thoughts and all these feelings. And I started thinking about when did I manifest and how did I manifest when I did manifest what I wanted. And then I started to ask myself, well, gee, Evie, why do you want to manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest? And that really was the place where things shifted for me. So, manifestation is the practice of bringing our intentions into reality through FAB, our feelings, our actions, right? And our beliefs, I said. And that became the FAB method that I now share in my upcoming book. And FAB stands for feel, act, and be. And you'll be hearing me talk more about it in our masterclass that is happening tomorrow, Thursday at 2 p.m. And if you have not already RSVP, make sure that you RSVP by going to this link. That is, I shortened the link for you. You can go through fabrichwomen.com. And if you want to go directly to the link, you can go using that bit.ly /6-8-23 workshop because it's happening tomorrow, June 8th, 2023. So it's 6-8-23 workshop. Go there and check it out and make plans to join us because I believe and I guarantee that is going to really transform the way that you think about manifesting in a very different way. And you'll discover what this idea of love and what does love have to do with it? And I mean in a positive way. What does love have to do with us manifesting our desires? And that's what we're going to dive into right now. Like I said, I created, I manifested this method, FAB, feel, act, and be, because of my frustration, which is a feeling, right? And so we're going to talk about feelings and emotions today. And I then recalled a book that I had read years ago by Dr. David Hawkins. Now, you can, if you would love to, I would love for you to do that, Google Dr. David Hawkins and Power versus Force, which is a book that he wrote. And Dr. Hawkins was an MD, PhD. He was a psychiatrist. He was someone that was interested in spirituality, higher consciousness, behavior, thinking differently. And he conducted several studies over many years, and he conducted studies on human emotions and feelings. And what he did using kinesiology, he decided to calibrate these different emotions, and he created what has now come to be known as the map of consciousness, which is what you see here, demonstrated here, the map of consciousness. That's what you're looking at right here. And this particular map of consciousness, let me see if I can get my hand right. Boop, this particular has different emotions, and he calibrated it. Now, the interesting part is, like I said, he used kinesiology, and he also looked at some research in the Heart Math Institute, which is still around. So you can go to heartmath.org, I believe that's the website, and take a look at some of the research regarding the heart. I'm going to use this to indicate the heart, which is a little red heart for you if you like a visual, because I like to use visual. And I'm going to be sharing a little bit about that research today because I've been going back and forth to that website, and I'm still in a research mode myself. Now, I would share with you that I've always been intrigued by the human mind, human behavior, and all of this psychology, quantum physics, science. I'm always very intrigued. Number one, because I want to learn how to be my best self, which I now call my future self. And you'll hear me talk more about creating that and manifesting that future self. And that is why I've been researching different methodologies, different practices. And I've been looking at what's out there, what is something that is already known, what is something that is known but is not looked at exactly in the same way, and perhaps what are some of the things that may be ignored by many because of lack of understanding, or perhaps because we're not ready to do things differently. Maybe, I don't know, it could be for a myriad of reasons. So I want you to think about that as we're going to explore this idea of the map of consciousness. And we're going to look at, what does the map of consciousness have to do with us manifesting? And that's what I want to share with you. So last week we began sharing about the different emotions, and I started talking about the desire. And we started defining desire and looking at it in the map of consciousness. Now, if you look here, and I hope you can see this image right here, you can look at the different levels all the way on the, I guess for you would be far left or far right, I'm not sure, but take a look at all these different emotions, because we experience them at any particular moment. We have experienced them. We have experience with these emotions, and these emotions range from shame to enlightenment. With shame, according to Dr. Hawkins, calibrating or vibrating, if you will, at a very low level. And you know what that feels like. If you've ever felt shame, let's say you did something that you were later regretful for or ashamed of, whatever, from saying a lie and you got caught in a lie, to perhaps cheating on a test in school, whatever it might have been. And when you get caught, particularly, you may feel shame and you're like, oh, I'm ashamed. And you know the feeling of that. It feels, pardon the expression, pretty crappy. So you start feeling pretty crappy and you start feeling shame. So you know that feeling, right? And then, of course, from there, you look at the next emotion that he calibrated using muscle testing, and it's guilt. Because what sometimes happens is what? We begin first by feeling this sense of shame, and then we start feeling perhaps a sense of guilt. We start feeling guilt perhaps because we were caught and we knew that we were doing something wrong. And we never thought we would get caught. And that feels pretty bad to feel that guilt. And then we may move through apathy, grief, fear, and we know that emotion very well because we've often felt fear, whether it's fear, as many say, of failure, fear of success, fear of getting found out, fear of being reprimanded, fear of not being right, fear of being right. I mean, fear is an emotion that we know way too well, perhaps, right? And then, we see all the different emotions, right? And you'll also notice that all those emotions, all the way to pride, are calibrating below the 200 level. And so, what we want to do is look at in this diagram here that the lower emotions, and I mean lower in the diagram, and perhaps they could be construed as lower because they don't make us feel very good. They are under the area of force. And here, Dr. Hawkins refers to force more of a way of pushing, when you're pushing or when you're working too hard towards something. So you're forcing something to happen. So the reason why I decided to focus on love and the higher emotions and our feelings is because when you look at desire and you see their desire calibrates at 125, right above fear, you see that we're still forcing something to happen. Now, here is where I came to believe that I was trying too hard to force things to happen when I had these desires for more money, let's just say, right? I was forcing it. And when you force something, it could deplete your energy. Let's say I'm trying to force, let's say my phone here, I'm trying to force this cover onto my phone, and let's pretend the cover is slightly smaller, but I keep pushing it, thinking that if I force it in, the phone will fit. So the analogy here is that we don't want to be in a place of forcing things to happen. We should be in the flow of life, in the flow of abundance, in the flow of manifesting and manifestation, believing that we are, in fact and indeed, attracting and manifesting what we want, like with a magnet. When you have a magnet and there are things that are magnetic, it begins what? Attracting it. And it's not so forceful, right? It doesn't feel forceful. Let's see if this will pick. Well, this is not magnetic. It starts attracting it. It doesn't feel so hard, like it just doesn't feel right. So we want to focus on what feels good. And so that's where I started to think about the difference between me desiring to make something happen and me allowing and attracting what I intend to happen. And that's where we're going to take off today. And how are we going to do that? So, first of all, once again, to review this definition of desire is that craving. And I don't know about you, but for me, craving, I don't like the word craving, and through my training, and through this method of the F.A.B, feel, act, and be rich method, I focus a lot on the power of our words, primarily for our subconscious mind, because our words have power. What we say and how we say it to others and to ourselves have the power to create or to destroy, right? So, because of that, I want to be more aware of the words that I choose. And today I'm choosing to change the word desire for intention, my intentions. Okay. And we'll talk more about this tomorrow, Thursday, during our event that we have coming up. And I'll get into that in a few minutes. And before we get into that, I want to go into, so Evie, you may be wondering by now, how do we go then from those lower emotions, those emotions we're wanting to force to happen, right? To the ones that we're more in the allowing and in the manifesting and in the attractions phase, right? How do we go to that? So very easily, you've heard of the term raise your vibration. So how exactly do we raise our vibration? So here is what I wanted to share with you regarding raising our vibration. And that is to share with you this graphic that I found online. And that is, I like to use it because it goes through the scale of consciousness, or map of consciousness, as Dr. David Hawkins talks about it. And it goes into this idea that we can raise our vibration by going through the different emotions. So, for example, we can go from shame to guilt, to apathy, to grief, to fear, to desire, to anger. Yes, believe it or not, anger calibrates higher. Okay, perhaps because you've heard that saying that if you're angry at something somebody says, is because there is something of truth. There may be truth into what they're saying, so much so that it's making you angry. So when something makes you angry, right, you're actually calibrating higher because inside of you, you are noticing that there is some truth to what someone is telling you that is making you angry. And so you go from anger all the way up to neutrality to willingness. And this word willingness, if you've ever gone to psychotherapy, and when I went to undergrad, college, I wanted to be a psychologist, a PhD, like Dr. Hawkins, because, like I said, I've always been interested in this. And in psychology, I've been to psychologists, of course, and therapy. One of the first things that I remember hearing from my therapist was this idea of willing. Are you willing? So if you're going into therapy because you are willing to experience a breakthrough, or you're willing to open up your mind to different possibilities, or you're willing to change and transform your life and have a better, different life, then you're already at a better spot, at a better place. And you can talk about that and research it on Google with your therapist if you have a therapist. And you'll notice that when you start with the idea and the feeling of willingness, you're more likely than not to be doing better versus when you start at different levels. So, for example, when I was in college, I was a drug and alcohol therapist, and I was feeling like a lot of the therapy that I was doing on the men, because it was men that I was having in my therapy sessions, they were not moving or experiencing breakthroughs. And one of the reasons was because they were there out of fear, right? They were there out of fear. Some of them felt apathy towards the whole process because they were being mandated by the court system. Because many of these clients that I had when I was a psychotherapist, as a drug and alcohol therapist, they were there because they were incarcerated due to drugs and alcohol. So they were not there willingly. And that's one of the reasons why they were not experiencing transformations and breakthroughs. So here's the thought I want to put in our minds. So when we start something, we want to begin, let's say a therapy session, or like tomorrow, we're going to go into this workshop. You want to go open and receptive. You want to be willing to experience a breakthrough. Because if you go with the idea, I know this is not going to work, I don't believe in this, you are already starting from a limiting emotion, a limiting place, even in your mind, because you're not open, you're not willing to see the possibility, the miracle, the breakthrough, the transformation. So if we can raise our vibration, to that willingness and acceptance of what is. So, similarly, when we think about why aren't we manifesting right here, right now, because we're so used to, I don't know about you, but me, it has to happen yesterday or it has to happen right away. Like, for example, when I ordered this, right, that you saw me, actually, it was because today I was hoping that we would be in Aventura together doing the show from Aventura. And because we didn't get 14 people RSVPing, I had to postpone it to August. So stay tuned for those of you that are local in Florida. We are going to have a Women's Wealth Creation Wednesday with wine in the month of August. In any event, so when I order this, right, this thing here, I wanted it for today. I wanted it fast. So in Amazon, of course, especially if you're Amazon Prime, you can get things right away, right? And we're so used to getting things right away that if we don't get the money right away, what happens? We become disillusioned because we're so used to this world where everything happens fast. Well, many times, right, that means that we're not in the right place in that we are accepting what is. So we are attached and we are not accepting. So when we're not in a place of acceptance, as you see, and we're calibrating according to this map of consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins, then we're not manifesting. And sometimes we're not manifesting as fast as we want to, right? Because we're not in the right place. So the way for us to go is first having an understanding and a willingness to accept this map of consciousness. I mean, I'm willing to accept it. I have accepted it because I've been researching, and I encourage you to research it, Google it, do your own research. I always tell people, do your own research and look at where did Dr. Hawkins, MD, PhD, come up with this, like I already explained it to you. And then if you believe it, then say, okay, I want to raise my vibrations. What can I do to go from anger to willingness or acceptance? What do I need to do to start calibrating, vibrating higher? And that's what you want to do. So you want to perhaps go to a level of acceptance or love, loving what is, loving yourself, loving life the way it is. So that's why I say FAB, F-A-B, feel. And in order to go through this, you first want to tune in to your feelings. So I started saying that I decided to change and create this method for myself. And by the way, this stuff has been coming to me like by divine inspiration. And I'm sharing it to you as it's coming to me. And that's why in 3 months, I wrote a book that soon I will tell you when it will be published by Hay House. And I decided to do that because it was inspiration, the divine mind or my future self that was calling me to write this stuff. And I began researching before I just wrote it. I said, well, let's take a look at this idea. If I become more conscious, aware of my feelings and how I'm feeling, am I more tuned in, as Esther Hicks says, tune in and turn on to what I what I intend to manifest, to attract in my life, whether that be love, money, peace, health, a healthy body, whatever it may be, right? And so I like this idea of going through the feeling of love. And the reason I use love is because we love. So perhaps you love your pet and you could experience that feeling of love. Let's say when you pet your pet. Like I have a beautiful white bunny. Her name is Bubby, Princess Bubby. She has an Instagram page, by the way. Princess Bubby is not too far from me right now. When I pet her, when I give her love, I feel love and I start vibrating at the energy of love. Um, Also, I love my husband. And the more that I love him, the more happy I feel, the more joyful I feel, the more I love my life. And conversely, the more I've learned to love me. Because when I first started dating him, he made me realize that I wasn't as loving to myself as I thought I was. And I started looking into that. And so, this idea of loving, being loving, accepting love, giving love, seeing everyone through the eyes of love, right, raises your vibration. And when you raise your vibration to that energy of love, you are more likely than not to manifest your intentions, whether they be to attract more loving relationships, to attract more money, like we talked about, okay, whatever it may be. And I like this definition that I found online, supposedly by the late Dr. David Hawkins, that says love is a state of awareness. Awareness. It is a way of being, a way of being oneself to others. So I see myself now as love and as loving. I look at myself in the mirror and I become more loving. I have a mirror right here and I affirm things and I begin feeling more of my affirmations. And the more that I get into the feeling, like for those of you that are in the F.A.B community, make sure that you put it right there in the chat. I put an exercise that we're going to do tomorrow, also during our workshop. We're going to do that tomorrow about how can we begin vibrating at a higher level? What do we have to do to connect with ourselves, with those higher emotions like love? We're going to do several exercises about that, because I'm going to tell you what I've been using, and we're going to come up with ideas for you so that you know how to raise your own vibration every day, every morning, in the morning and at night, during the day, whenever you need it. So, in case you're wondering, this F.A.B, feel, act, and be rich method of manifesting brings in a lot of what I know from spirituality, metaphysics, quantum physics, psychology. And this is my understanding, along with other people, of course, that I research. And so, going through this research in the field of, well, he was a psychiatrist and he was an MD PhD who was also a spiritual person, where he calibrated love at a 500. When we start going with this one, and I just picked love because I believe that when you can connect with that feeling of love, and let's say you don't have love for yourself, but you have a pet, let's say, and you can connect with that feeling of love. And the more that you learn to connect on a daily basis, the more you'll be calibrating or vibrating at a higher level, the more likely you are to manifest your intentions. And so tomorrow during the workshop, we're going to dive in to this idea of the feelings. Now, along with that, we must discuss the why. Why is it that you want to manifest? Why? And I'll leave you that with the homework and we'll discuss it tomorrow during our workshop. And remember, right here, I left the URL. I made a smaller URL, bit.ly/6-8-23 workshop. I believe you can also get that link by just going to fabrichwomen.com. So you can check that out as well if you would like. So take a look at that. And tomorrow we'll talk. You'll talk and I'll listen because it's a workshop style where we're going to be both talking, not like today that I'm doing all the talking. Tomorrow you're going to be doing some talking. And the first question I'm going to ask you is, what do you want to manifest? And I'm going to ask you to focus on one to no more than three very specific things that you want to manifest over the next 90 days. And we're going to do kind of an experiment, if you want to call it that, or a challenge. And we're going to see what you will be able to manifest over the next 3 months. Okay, that's going to be what we're going to do. And then one of the other questions that I want you to answer tomorrow is, now that you know what are the three things you want to manifest, then the next thing is, Why do you want to manifest that? So, what do you want to manifest? Why do you want to manifest? So, why do you want to manifest? And usually, the reason we want to manifest something is because of the way we want to feel. So, for example, why do I want to manifest more wealth? Why do I want to be wealthy or rich? I want to manifest more wealth in today's Wealth Creation Wednesday because I want to feel more financially secure. I want to feel that I have more choices. I want to feel more prosperous or more confident. So it's all about the feelings. So many times, our manifestation and our intentions to manifest things, or usually we say things, it's really because of the feelings. So, doesn't it make sense that we get in touch with our feelings? After all, we now know that the feelings, love and other feelings, help us to vibrate at a higher level, thus increasing our opportunity to be a magnetic money attractor, if you want to call it, a money magnet, an attractive personality that attracts others to us. So, how about we focus on the feelings? So, by aligning our emotions with our intentions, we will bring them into existence through the power of quantum physics. And tomorrow we'll touch upon this further about what exactly does this mean and how do we do it? And so the first step, of course, I've given it to you, is by connecting with our emotions and our feelings, specifically those of our future selves. What is it that you see in your future? How do you see yourself being in the future? How do you want to feel in the future? We'll be talking more about that tomorrow. So, of course, the first step is to connect with the feelings that you associate in the future. So, for example, the idea of manifesting more wealth, right? More money. Not just because of this, the paper, that's not why. It's because of the feelings. And also because of what you believe that is connected with, right? So, what we want to do, and let me just take this out and go a little bit into what I'm actually going to share with you, a little bit of what I'm sharing tomorrow, because I want to make sure that this is in your mind, and also that you tune in tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to be inside of Zoom and we're going to see each other and you'll be able to talk. You're going to get a workbook, which I'm going to share a little bit of that workbook right now in a little bit. And, I want to really prepare you for what we have in store for you tomorrow, because I think you're really going to like it. You're going to be in a workshop and you're going to be working, and we're going to be working through some processes, through some exercises that will help you move from where you are today to where you want to be in your future. And we are going to be connecting with your feelings and emotions. And I mentioned the Heart Math Institute because new studies are showing that the heart, not this one, but this one, is 100 times stronger electrically than the human brain, which of course that just gets to me really, really good, because my intention is to move away from here, from the analytical, from all the la 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 thinking, to here, to the heart, to feeling. And so the heart is about 100 times stronger electrically than the human brain. The heart is about 5,000 times stronger magnetically than the human brain. And so, yes, there is power in your heart, in your feelings, to manifest with more ease and peace and love, and to be manifesting when you begin to be in tune with your emotions. Therefore, if you want to create an electrical or a magnetic field that attracts your reality, you can probably manifest easier by tuning in with the feelings in your heart. Get that? You want to tune in with the feelings in your heart. I'm hoping you're getting that. So align with your emotions, with your feelings, get in touch with them. Okay. So it could be, and test this for yourself. Begin by tuning in to different words and how they feel and where they feel that in your body. For those of you that are part of our currently free Fab Rich Women community, it is a free membership right now on Facebook. You will see that yesterday I share certain words that calibrate highly and asking you to feel each of those words and to get in tune with where you feel them in your body. Now, why did I do that? The reason why I did that is because we're going to be doing more of that tomorrow in our workshop tomorrow. And of course, if you are already a member, you know that you get the workshop for free. That's right. Members who started in the group, in the membership, get tomorrow's workshop for free. And that is closing very soon. So you want to go ahead and go into fabrichwomen.com. That's FAB richwomen.com, or as I mentioned before, go to bit.ly/6-8-23 workshop and get your spot for tomorrow before we close. And we're closing very soon. So when you repeat these types of words and you're feeling them, so you've heard about affirmations, and I'll tell you, for me, they weren't working for a long time. And now I know why. I was not feeling them. So I remember telling my husband for a long time, honey, intellectually, I get all this because I was in my mind and my intellect, right? I was up here. When I moved from here to the heart brain, right, and feeling more thankful and gratitude and saying these intentions and affirmation, feeling them, then the game has started to change for me in a big way. And that is very, very powerful. As a matter of fact, I was in a conference, in a Hay House conference, and one of the things that happened that was that on my way home, right, without any efforting on that day, I got a paid speaking engagement. Whereas in the past, I've been worried about how am I going to get a paid speaking engagement? Where is this going to come from? Well, guess what? I didn't have to do anything because I was already vibrating so highly simply because I came from the Hay House conference and was feeling so happy that it just made me feel great. And I was already in the spot that I wanted to be. So I tell you all this, and I hope that this is a little tasting of what we're going to go through tomorrow. And I want to invite you to take a look at tomorrow's event again, okay? And I want to inspire you to explore with me this Fab Rich method, which is feel, act, and be. And that's what I'm demonstrating here. And that's also part of a method that I'm going to teach you to take action. Okay, so tomorrow, bizuniversity.com, 3 steps to Fab. That is the direct link. 3 steps to Fab, the number 3 steps to Fab. That's where you want to go. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you right now what that looks like. When you go to 3 steps to Fab, let me go ahead and share that with you so you see how that looks. So you go to bizuniversity.com, 3 steps to Fab, and I have it right here. I'm going to show it on the stream. So you see here, one of the things you're going to get is a 16, 17, or 18 page workbook for free by signing up today. You're going to get that workbook. That's where you're going to be doing your work as you're sharing. So once again, this is a workshop. This is not like today where I'm doing all the talking. This, you'll be actually working on this with me tomorrow, and you'll get this workshop where you'll be writing. It's almost like a workbook slash journal. It's a prompted guided journal, if you want to call it that, similar to the one that very soon you'll have, and it'll be available through Amazon, where we're going to go through the F.A.B steps of feel, act, and be, right? And the first step, of course, as I mentioned here, you want to feel and get in tune with your feelings, right? Then you want to act, and then you want to be. And then tomorrow, we're going to go through a series of exercises in applying the feel, act, and be method to the three intentions that you want to set over the next 90 days. So, how are you going to do it? That's what you're going to learn tomorrow. Now, I want to once again encourage you to do what the third step is, which is, of course, to take action, to join now, to tell yourself, I don't have to wait. I can begin feeling good today. So go ahead and count 3, 2, 1, and action. Take action in your life. Remember, you are the author of your life. When you take inspired action, when you feel that inspiration, when you feel that willingness to move forward powerfully in your life, that's when finally you will begin to experience the manifestation of all your desires. And that's my invitation for you today, to begin to feel that inspiration and take action today to join our workshop tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for watching. And feel free to email me for any questions, thoughts, ideas. I want to hear from you. I want to know how you're doing. I want to know if you have any questions regarding the FAB, feel, act, and be method. And more importantly, I want you to come on this journey with me. And you can create your own journey by journaling using the FAB Rich method of manifesting in your journal. So I invite you to join us tomorrow at 2 p.m., where we will continue this conversation. It'll be a two-way conversation. You and I will be speaking, seeing each other, diving deep into these concepts. And over the next 90 days, we will be celebrating each other as we manifest three very powerful intentions. Thank you so much for watching. I send you a big hug. Oh, by the way, let me remember tomorrow, we're going to do an exercise with candles. So today, if you remember, please see if you can bring the candle that makes you feel great, feel happy, feel love. So, for example, for me, I love the apple cinnamon. This is a wizard one. You can get this anywhere in Target, in CVS, Walgreens, at the Dollar Tree, wherever you want, you can find this, right? Smells great, and it helps you for some of the exercises that we're going to be talking about tomorrow, including this idea of anchoring some feelings that we can access at different points in our lives. So thank you so much for watching. I thank you. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'm excited to see you tomorrow. I can't wait. I can't wait.